Good morning, everyone. Ray, how are you today?
I'm ready. I'm good. How are you, brother?
It's another week of gambling, which means another week of winning, baby.
Yeah, and welcome to week 13 to the Deshaun Watson Bowl.
We're on the... that was nice.
That was weird.
You know what happened?
What happened?
I had a crazy cat just like run right by me.
Yeah.
And just absolutely just took my earpiece out.
Oh, you can't hear me. No. Good. Here. Just the two of us.
Jesus.
Okay, sorry.
Or the Jewish Jesus, I have no idea.
Yeah, so right, could the NFL have buried this game if they wanted to? We'll play the Texans in week 13.
Look at Pete. He's already lost it. I got Pete in the back room going, oh Jesus, did he really just go there? Deshaun Watson the Deshaun Watson watch.
And how could you? Oh, we'll have them play the Texans. We'll put it at whatever. We'll put it on Nickelodeon. They can have the slime. And the thing is, I would not tune into this game.
Why the slime? Don't you think there was enough of that?
Oh God, this show's going down. Oh God.
Hey, you know where I want to start out? Today.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget to get down there for the halftime and post-game show at the Whistle Sports Bar and Grill on 159th Street in Tinley Park. Yours truly, Chicago's very own Fred Hubner and Fat Mike are making an appearance out there.
Love it.
And you know what's even better?
What?
If you go down there and tell them that Harry the Greek sent you, Fred Hubner is buying everybody around the drinks. And Fat Mike's buying everybody chicken wings.
And you know the better part?
You know what the better part is? I live 1,200 miles away.
There's no problem. And the best part for me is we talked to Mike, of course, a few minutes ago. We talked to Fat Mike from 1252 Sports, and he doesn't sound hungover at all.
No, he's not really feeling too well today.
It's a Sunday.
I don't know how.
How could he?
He starts. I'm telling you, man, this guy starts cooking so early in the morning. I'm going to go ahead and send Fat Mike the link too, just in case they want to come in, maybe a little Hubner action.
Love to get it. Never going to get it.
Never going to get it.
Gosh.
Oh my God. I think we just went south quick.
Yeah,
Ray, there's so many good games today.
Yes, it's a
There
good
really
slate.
is.
It's getting hot. And the thing is, some of these games you looked at before the year started, and you're like, okay. Now you're looking at them now the way the NFL in 2022 has been, and you're looking at them like, wow, Vikings. There's some games, there's matchups. These are interesting. Let's talk about it. Let's win some money.
We're gonna win some money. You have a question or a comment? Don't forget first to share the show. Hit the like button. Tell us how much you really like us because we're trying to grow the show organically. Put it on someone's timeline. It's live. It's interactive. Leave a comment. We're going to go ahead and read it live on the air. Might even give us something to talk about. And if you want to call in, dial 727-320-5866. That's 727-320-5866. I'm your host, Harry the Greek, with a couple of co-hosts today. I got Mr. Tampa Bay Ray sitting to my right. In the back room, in my back room, I have SportsWeb's Peter Blake, and one of the two giant goofballs are here too, sitting in my back room.
And right when you said that, the NFL Network, they had,
and I didn't say back door, guys.
No, you said back room,
Back
which
room.
I thought it, and they showed Heineke walking in for that big game, the Commanders versus the Giants today. I'm sure that Drew's going to have something to say about
Let me
that.
tell you something. That's going to be a very, very interesting game. Very interesting matchup, especially with all the injuries.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to leave everybody a little tickled. Did the Bears beat the Pack today? Do the Fish go out west and possibly upset 49ers? Does Washington deserve to be 2-point favorites invading New Jersey?
Wow.
Really?
Right.
And how about another important thing? Is there going to be a team in the NFC South that is going to be over 500 to win this division?
Well, not over 500, but let's just say 500 at this point, right?
You can't get to 500.
Well, I mean, the Bucs win tomorrow night against the Saints. They'd be back to 6-6.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is by the end of the year, unless there's a tie, you theoretically couldn't be at a 500. You're either going to be above 500 or under 500. I already had a prediction that the winner in this division is going to be under 500.
You did, and I'll tell you what, Matt Ryan was 102, and of course, Drew Brees walks away. You thought Jameis might be the answer there in New Orleans. Of course, Matt Rule's not even coaching in Carolina anymore, but when the Buccaneers win the NFC South last year, after having not won it in 2020, but won Super Bowl 55, you're thinking, okay, I could see a little bit of a letdown in the NFC South, but they've just NFC leased it on us. Sorry, Drew.
Tell me about it. We're going to get to some of the questions. I'm sorry, some of the comments, and then we're going to start bringing some of our guests in. Roger Shue. Hey, good morning, Roger. What's up? Pete, you should be here at work. We miss you. Roger, you should be massaging Pete's shoulders right now.
Easy, another Deshaun Watson reference. We're done with this already.
I'm not done with Deshaun. Troy Polamalu says first, good morning, Troy, but no, someone beat you. Troy also says, y'all are taking too long to start the show. I'm sorry, we're playing that really good porn music. And I see someone in my back door trying to get on here really quick. And I don't mind. You said back door. Yeah, my back door. I'll tell you what, talking about back doors, he's at the Whistle Sports Bar and Grill on the way going through their back door in sub-zero temperatures. Let's give it to the poor guy, Mr. Fat Mike. What's up, Mike?
What's up, brother?
What's up, fellas? Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, buddy. How you feeling today? Tell everybody where you're going to be at. We already started plugging it.
Yeah, we're going to be at the Fred Hubner and I are going to be at the Whistle Sports Bar and Grill of 159th and Tinley here. It's a beautiful spot. We've been here a couple of times before. Every time we're here for Bears games, it's swamped. They got great food, ice cold booze. They got this thing called a Hunch Punch. Oh, yeah, baby. It's all about fame. I got permanent Vin Diesel voice now. I've been doing it too long. I don't know what the hell's going on around here. But, yeah, no, we're going to be live here. It's going to be a great time. Eat, drink, pregame, postgame, halftime show, the whole nine.
Nice.
That does sound exciting, Mike. I got to tell you, I wish I was up there. And just in case you didn't know, everybody that's out there that goes out to the Whistle Sports Bar and Grill, just tell them Harry the Greek from the Over Under. You just mentioned my name, and they're going to put right on Fat Mike's tab a free beer, and Fred Hubner's buying wings for everybody. I'm 1,200 miles away. They can't do cock out of me here.
Or it's going to come out of your end, and I mean more ways than one.
The back
Yeah,
end?
it's going to come out your back door.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Mike, it looks good, buddy. Hey, you got any games you really like today?
I like a few games, man. We were talking before you were getting set up here. I like the Bears-Packers today. I like the Bears, but I like the Bears with the under today. 45 is a little too grace for me. I think both these teams stink. It's going to be a long, hard-fought running game, I think. You're going to see Justin Fields run. You're going to see David Montgomery run. You're going to see the same thing up there in Green Bay. Their backs run the ball a lot. And then I like the Cincinnati game today. This is a good game. I like this.
Very interesting.
Cincinnati and KC. I like this game. I like Cincinnati to cover in this game.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's
Cincinnati. Joe Burrow plays Patrick Mahomes very well. And I like this matchup this week.
cool. Fred Hubner already chimed in. Ready? No free drinks. Lions and Jags over. Fred, that's not what Mike told me. Everybody that goes down there, just mention the over-under show, and you guys are buying them all drinks, complimentary of Fat Mike and Fred Hubner.
Fred's taking care of my bill. I'm going to drive him pro today.
Which that actually will probably break him.
Every time I'm up here, it's a hoot and holler good time, man. It's a lot of fun.
He actually wants to know a little bit about the Lions and Jags. Can this game go over? The total is 51.5. Jesus, man. I don't know. Are any of these teams going to play defense today, right?
You know, your guess is as good as mine.
I'm going to bring it to you here in about 30 minutes because that's when we're going to be giving out all the real hot picks. But, Fred, I can honestly tell you, Mike likes the under in this Chicago game. It keeps going up for a reason. They can't make it high enough. Bet the Bear game over today because neither defense could stop a cold from coming through them. I'm not kidding you. It's that bad. Offensively, you know just as well as I do. I'm preaching to the choir when I'm talking about the Bears. I think Chicago is going to put up 24 to 31 points alone in this game, and they're going to be able to run the ball. And I do like an upset in this game, believe it or not. And I'm not being a homer. I've picked against the Bears. You ready, guys? 6 times this year. 6. Today, they win it outright. Fred, I hope it helps.
And the irony is Green Bay's tanking to draft another quarterback. I'm kidding.
Mike, tell everybody where they could find you because I've got to get this show really starting to hit the door soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Like I said, today we're going to be Fred Hubner and I. We're going to be live here at the Whistle Sports Bar and Grill 159 off of 159th in Harlem.
Don't forget the free drinks.
Yeah, Harry's buying drinks for everybody, he says.
Love that guy.
And then, yeah.
Just call me with my credit card, buddy. Don't worry about it. I got you covered, Fat Mike. I'll tell you what. Seriously, if you guys want drinks and you guys want free wings, just tell Mike to get a hold of the Greek. I got you covered from down here in Florida. I got a good credit card to take care of it. I wouldn't mind buying my buddies a couple of rounds up there.
Nice.
Sounds great to me. I'm bringing home a hunch punch on you, baby.
Hunch punch. I got your hunch punch. Hey, tell us what's the weather like up there, Mike?
Right now it's 23 degrees. Not a cloud in the sky. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
My balls just went like this.
You take that deep breath.
Hiding from the cold.
You take that deep breath in. You get that crystallization into your lungs. It feels real nice. It feels like winter up here.
Like
it just doesn't look like winter up here. That's all.
God bless.
Mike, take care of yourself.
It looks more like a warm. Looks more like a warm fall day out there. Not even the roofs have the, what do they call it? The freeze on them.
Frost, yeah.
Frost, yeah. There we go. That's big words that I don't know. Like frost and
Hey, Mike. But just to let you know, down here it's a nice, balmy, beautiful 73, 74 degrees. The sun is shining, partly cloudy skies. We have the pools kicking in the backyard. We have beers in the tubs. We got the kegs in the backyard. Nobody's wearing jackets. As a matter of fact, the beach is that way.
Which way is the beach, baby? This way.
There you go.
Where's Ray's half shirt?
Well, when they win this week, he's going to put on the muscle hamster shirt, and he's going to be in the deep end of the pool. Mike, take it easy, brother. Have a good time at the Whistle Sports Bar and Grill. Do us a favor. Send us the link. We might even go ahead and pop in just to say hello. But we love you, brother. Have a good time. Stay safe, and let's go Bears.
All right, let's go Bears. Take care, guys. Have a great show.
Take care, guys. That was a lot of fun.
He looks good. I was wrong. I think we were just his first call of the day.
And I'm gonna get the bill for this one.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you know what? My phone don't work.
Yeah. I'm sorry that was that credit
Ladies
card.
and gentlemen, live from the Sports Web, Tampa Bay's very own Mr. Peter Blake. How are you, sir?
Doing great, buddy. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. My brother, sorry about having you in my back room for 15 minutes, but
you and talking about Deshaun Watson and this and that and the other thing, having Troy. Shut up! By the way, Roger, I would have been at work today, but they didn't have a spot for me. So this show does have a spot for me. So here I am on a Sunday morning, and I don't want to work anymore. Not this weekend. It's week 13, guys.
Take this job, man.
Plus, Roger, how many people can you have at the Fries? You know,
I
you
know,
dump
really,
them, you put more
really,
in.
Roger. Do you need
Exactly.
help salting your French fries?
He does.
Live from New Jersey, up in the two giant goofballs, we have one of the testicles himself, Mr. Andrew Davis. How are you, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Not too bad, man. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Heard ding fries are done. Ding fries are done.
Ding fries are done. That's pretty fun. We're going to go through some of the comments right now, and we're going to have a little bit of fun today. I'll tell you what, we had a really good week last week, Pete. You seeing it? We absolutely cleaned house.
Yeah, 14-2, baby.
How you like me now, prognosticators? I am on fire.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It is on fire.
What?
All right. Troy Polamalu says they want to talk about Watson, but avoid topics about Jerry Jones and Sean Taylor. Great point.
Why?
But it's too much fun to talk about Deshaun Watson. We are officially on the Watson watch.
I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and talk about when you were 14 years old. Shall we do that? Let's go into your closet and see what you were doing when you were 14 years old. Because everybody wants to make a big deal about the picture, but nobody even knows what the hell happened. They just want to make a big deal about it. They just want to complain about something like you always do. You're like a woman, Troy, when you come into somewhere and try to shop. That's what you do, dude. You're complaining about everything all the time. You didn't start the show on time. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. How about this? Shut up! There you go.
Tell me about it.
Pete's wound up.
Pete is wound up.
You know, can I ask a question? Those guys, Sean Taylor, Washington. We're gonna have Sean Taylor Day. They did that last year when they were trying to get the light off of the whole Dan Snyder thing. But then this year they actually announced a day we're gonna have a statue. Then they go over to Dick's Sporting Goods. They get like a uniform thing. They got a Nike.
Why does it have to be Dick's?
Well, here's the thing. Everybody was complaining about the cleats, but what the morons don't know is that he actually wore soccer cleats, and his daughter was asked about it, and she was crying. She was emotional. Instead, you got a jack off like Troy complaining about it. That's the problem. That's the reason why social media is so toxic.
That's a good point.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the people from Chicago, that is not the way it's pronounced. It's J-A-G, not J-A-C-K.
Well, Pete,
it's J-A-G. It's, jag.
But
that's the way we say it up there.
Could the Commanders done a better job with it? Of course they could have, but they're Commanders. I mean, what do you expect? They got an awful organization. They got an awful owner. They done awful things, and everybody's like, well, they're supposed to get this right. Why? They're consistent. They're equally awful. What are you talking about?
Well, my point, Pete, my point is the guy, they got a Nike jersey on, Reebok pants. He never wore Reebok in his playing career. And again, it just goes back to the whole thing with announcing 24 minutes before they did it last year. We're going to have a Sean Taylor Day. They scurry his family in the stadium just about the same time that the oral report was getting released and all that news was coming down. They'd already gotten John Gruden fired with the emails, so they had nothing to work on there. And they do it again here. We seem to buy it hook, line, and sinker, like you said, with social media.
But
and
nobody's talking about the Deshaun Watson thing, and this is the week. Because they're trying to bury it under the rug. You know what? I'm going to go out to Andrew. Andrew, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the two topics here brought up. So first off, with the Jerry Jones thing, he was 14 years old. It's a picture. I don't know what's going on fully because it is a picture. I'll say this, it's not a good look. But again, it was how many years ago now at this point? People do change over time. As far as the Sean Taylor thing, here's the problem. They didn't just get the uniform from Dick's. They got the model from Dick's, it looks like, as well. What's that wire frame going on? You can't do something better for this guy? It's like they just threw it together real quick.
I don't know, man, but I'm so enamored. I really hope this guy plays today.
Sean Taylor?
No.
And
he's not playing.
Still talking about Deshaun Watson.
Well, he's playing today.
Adam Schefter reported that Sean Taylor's not playing today.
He's not?
No, I know.
Yeah, he's playing today. He's definitely playing today, and that'll be the big-time story, but I think it will be the blowback from the fans of the opposing
Can't
fans.
use that word on this show, especially talking about Deshaun.
I just did, and, it's going to be interesting because I think it's going to be a black eye for the National Football League, and going back to what LeBron James said about, Jerry Jones, nobody talking about it. The difference is LeBron. Kyrie Irving is an NBA basketball player, and he's relevant at this point. On top of it, what he's saying is ridiculous. We don't know what Jerry Jones did. We're just going off a picture. If you really want to be a hypocrite like you always are, LeBron, how about talk about how you support China and their ways of Nike? How about that? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about sweatshops. Let's talk about all that stuff. You want to talk about social justice, but you can't even talk about China and Nike and what they're doing over there to their people. Let's put it all out there if you want to put it out there.
And that was a voice from our sponsors from the right-wing political views. Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's pretty much nice and simple and cut and dry here. Again, you got a horrible statue made entirely that should be redone, much like they redid the I Love Lucy statue, if you guys remember that horrible one they made in New York a couple of years ago. And, you know, the Jerry Jones thing was 14. It was that many years ago. You know, if it was modern now, then I'm like, okay, yeah, let's compare that to the Kyrie situation. But Kyrie said this a week ago. Jerry Jones said this, over half a century ago?
Yeah, that's true. Ray?
I have a question for you. Over-under, because we're on the over-under. Mm-hmm. They say that 11 of those accusers are going to be there in the stadium over at the Energy Stadium where Texans play. Over-under, how many times will they show at least one, if not all 11 of those girls on TV?
Buddy, they should run a split screen.
Ooh.
0.
Okay,
I get it.
Every time Watson's on the field and looking into the stands, they should show all 11 women.
You don't
going,
think, though?
Hey, Deshaun,
at what point,
I'm
though?
getting paid.
The
I mean,
network...
it's what the NFL wanted. I mean, they wanted a storyline. They didn't care about the victims in the first place. They didn't care about any of that. They wanted a storyline, so you're going to get a storyline, whether you like it or you don't like it, and it's going to be a train wreck. And I'm happy because the NFL should have did the right thing. They should have suspended his ass for longer than a year. Everybody making jokes about it, but it's completely ridiculous. There are real victims out there that are getting, sexually abused every day. And this jack-off is playing starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Because why? Because they decided to cut a deal with the National Football League. So I hope the NFL gets everything they wanted. I hope they get their storyline. I hope they get their ratings, because I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a black eye for this league.
I want to know, when's the last time we've seen an 11-game suspension? 11-game suspension. I mean, that just tells you the NFL wanted to set this game up, and I hope nobody watches. Seriously.
I hope nobody watches either. And I tell you right now, Michael Vick, he was suspended for how long? For a year. So let me get this straight. You value dogs over people. That's what you're telling me, NFL. That's what you're telling me.
That hurt.
I'll say this: the difference in the Michael Vick thing is the fact that he actually was convicted in court. So the NFL does have that to stand on, but I don't disagree with you on that. But I'm just saying that's their line's going to be, is that Michael Vick went to jail. He actually got convicted of a crime. And, unfortunately, Deshaun Watson is running scot-free.
Yeah, scot-free isn't the only thing. Welcome to the Over-Under. I'm your host, Harry the Greek. Don't forget today, go down to the Whistle Sports Bar and Grill at 159th Street in Tinley Park. Chicago's very own Fred Huebner and Fat Mike are going to be there doing a pre, half and post-game show.
Good time.
It's a nice watch party up there. It's going to be the second or the third time they've been up there this year. Damn, I wish I was there.
Yeah, but not 23 degrees.
We should get up there sometime.
No, I heard they're buying pictures of Goose Island, any table of people.
Yeah,
it could. That's what I heard. Let me tell you something. Nice. Fred's rolling in the money. Hey, that's how we roll up in Cicero, okay?
He's watching the World Cup.
Now, these guys around me are going like, what's Cicero?
Oh, I know Cicero.
Right.
Wasn't that where the Mount Vesuvius was?
No.
Oh, that was Pompeii.
I'm
kidding.
No, Cicero. But I will give you guys a little education. That is where Al Capone hometown is at.
Cicero.
It's on the west side of Chicago. And there's a town that divides Chicago and Cicero. And the name of the street is called Cicero Avenue. To the west of Cicero Avenue is Cicero. And to the east of it, they go under a viaduct. And then it goes out to the west side of Chicago.
Wow.
Just for those people down here in the other parts of this continent that have no idea what I'm talking about.
The main streets.
It's like useless knowledge.
No, it's not. I like it. And no, I knew Cicero was where
Al Capone.
Al Pacino.
You know what? I seen him. Actually, someone sent a video, not a video, but they took a picture and they put graffiti on his headstone.
Oh,
really? Seriously, they did that. You know what? I can't complete the show because we only have one goofball here. I think we're going to have to bring one, the other goofball. This is how we make a pair. Get it? Live from New Jersey. Our buddy, Mr. Rob, to complete the second goofball. What's happening, Rob? How you doing?
Doing good, man. How yourself?
Pretty good. Need a little overmodulated. You sound good, though.
What's going on, Rob?
Yeah, hanging in there. Let's go Giants.
Yeah, I can hear that. Let's go Giants. Boo.
What about this Commanders-Giants game today, guys? Rob,
that's going to
Drew.
be a lot of fun. I'll tell you what.
We'll get there later.
Yeah, we're going to definitely get there. Let's go through some of the comments, and then we're going to start talking about the game. Can't wait for the new Dumb and Dumber movie to come out. Started Bulls and Leftwich. That, my friend, could be the comment of the week.
That was good, Pete. How about it?
That was pretty good.
How about them Bucks, baby?
He throws a Leftwich at him.
Fred Hubener says again, no free drinks, Lions and Jags over. Don't worry about it. Seriously, just go down there and just mention that the over-under sent you down.
Goose Island.
Fred's going to buy you a nice drink. Roger Shoe says, Harry, that shirt is horrible. Free Watson.
Oh, it said shirt.
Any hashtags free Watson? Oh my God.
Fred Hubener says, watching World Cup, walking out the door soon. I'll tell you what, I can't wait to 2:00 Eastern time because England's going to get it today.
I'll tell you what, real quick.
They are going to put a hurting on them.
I was in St. Pete yesterday. It was an Alice in Wonderland geocaching / whatever. And we had the phones and the kids and we were, day drinking as we're like, it turned into a pub crawl. But all that you should have seen it. I'm up there at Williams Park, just above 4th, 5th Street. And every time Argentina would score or every time, and you could hear the cheers coming up. And I know the U.S., we lose yesterday to Denmark, and they're out now. They made the round of 16. But, man, to hear the crowds and the cheers coming up Central Avenue, I was like, you know what? It wasn't just about the USA. It really is about soccer. It was actually, it's been a pretty good tournament.
The U.S. really didn't have much of a chance in the game. They were almost a 4-1 underdog in that game.
Yeah.
And you talk about 4-1 underdogs, that's equivalent to being a 12-point underdog in football.
To
American football, folks, please.
To a country that grows tulips.
Football, not football.
Football.
Yeah. Football.
Troy Palomalo says, what quarter do y'all think Mike Evans will be ejected tomorrow? I don't think he'll be ejected. I think he's actually going to have a pretty decent game. Christopher Cole says, hey, everyone. Chris, thank you so much for tuning in.
Up,
Troy
Chris?
Palomalo says, y'all do not have a hood pass to keep saying the word brother. Oh, God. Fat Mike says, Johnny Paycheck. I guess that's when we're talking about
taking that job and shove it. Yeah.
Roger Shoe says the drive-through is slam. We need you, Pete.
Yeah, okay.
Peter.
Yes.
I need two Big Macs and a quarter with cheese.
Yeah.
Roger,
the apple pies.
Fries. Drop the fries.
The apple pies.
Drop the fries right on the floor.
Change the date. They'll never know the difference.
Oh my God.
They're expired. No, they're not. Here.
5-second rule.
Fresh.
5-second rule.
5-hour rule. Yes, these are fresh. Troy Palomalo says the show is supposed to start at 9. Y'all need to be more professional.
I'll tell you what, Troy, when you start paying me money, we'll start at 9 o'clock. All right. How about that, Jack?
He just gave himself away.
Hey.
He's East West Central time.
And he's laughing. Troy Palomalo says Leo is always on time. Y'all need to follow his professionalism, Peter.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh. I'm starting to feel it a little bit. Jeff Stassi, what's up, Jeff? How you doing up there? Let me tell you something. Jeff is the man of all men for Bridgestone Retail Operations.
Right?
He is the man. When I have technical support issues,
Really?
I give him a call. I don't even bother dialing the 800 number. I just call my boy's phone. He's like, Harry, I can hook you up. Because I like it. Because when something like nationwide is out, you're caller number 343 in the queue.
It happens even at your
I'm
your
like,
level.
hell no. I just hit Jeff Stassi, and Jeff's like, hey, what's up, Harry?
Got a line for me?
No, not that kind of line. Jeff Stassi says, right by Berwyn. That's where Cicero is from. Troy Palomalo says, rest in peace, Don Meredith, greatest cowboy of all time. Troy Palomalo says, the U.S. lost to the Netherlands. Bro, stick to football.
I said Netherlands, Denmark. Same thing.
Yeah, I know. Jeff Stassi's laughing out loud. Jeff, just curious, how's that weather up there, buddy? Usually this time of the year, but it's not really quite cold enough up in Chicago because it's usually like sub-zero. That's when we do the show from outside with a Miller Lite in our hand, sitting by the pool. And Ray will be in the half shirt, swimming around. And you know what's even better? You know what's better? We're going to be in the pool and we're playing this.
Oh, every time.
Yeah.
I can't stop it. Can't stop the body rock.
Just think about it. Pete, will you stop that, bro? I'm trying to give everybody the visual of Ray.
That's Pete's foreplay.
Yeah, exactly.
Pete's foreplay.
We know his fetish now.
Oh, that's funny.
One glove on, farting the whole way.
Jeff says it's 25 degrees and sunny. Jeff,
Ugh.
it's 75 and beautiful down here. You should come. Seriously.
Yeah, it's nice.
Try it. The water's warm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gentlemen, you guys ready to talk some football?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
Let's go.
I
High five.
High five.
High five. I like you.
High five.
I
High
don't know.
five.
Oh God, Peter, you really need to go drop the fries. Seriously, maybe you should cut more pickles. The Big Macs need a little extra sauce and some pickles.
We got an order 30 McChickens, 30 McChickens, and we got one.
Hang on. And this is Pete coming to your drive-thru. Let me have. I'm ordering something. Pete's taking the order. Hi, can I take your order at McDonald's? Yeah, I'd like 2 quarter pounders of cheese. I need a Big Mac, a cheeseburger, a large order of fries, and you know what? Let me get a large Diet Coke.
Yeah, baby.
And then I'm going to say, sure. Can you do me a favor? I know, but hold on, because this is Pete now. And can I have a sundae with caramel on it, no nuts? And Pete's going to go, the machine's broken. We can't give you ice cream, man. The sundae machine's broken.
Oh, it's always broken.
It's always broken.
It's always broken.
Always.
It's always broken. Just turn it on. Just hit the button. Really?
Right, exactly. Why does it even exist, honestly?
I don't know. You tell
Oh
us you work
God,
there.
JC Allen says, "Wait, you guys talk football on here." Yes, we do. We're also making fun of Pete. Joshua, I understand that they're hiring McDonald's. Pete wants to know if you want to come work too. Roger Shoe says, "Pete Moonwalk for us." Sandra Nagel, good morning, gentlemen. How about Michigan win? Watching the best show in Tampa Bay area and the Sports Web. Bet one cup of Ray and the over under.
I love her.
I love her too.
Thank you, Pete.
How about that win with Michigan? That was great. I love seeing it. They covered the 15.5. I was shaking like a whore in church in the first half.
There was some championship Saturday. There was some surprises. There was some close games, and definitely was. I mean, guys, are we surprised anymore by some of these scores when they pop up like this?
USC loses. TCU loses, and now is going to still go to the bowl.
Lincoln Riley's a failure. Get him out of there. You know.
How about that? Anybody want to? Before we talk pro sports, just out of curiosity, seriously, does anybody have a problem with TCU being in the top 4?
They've earned it.
No, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, why should they be penalized for playing an extra game, their conference game, and losing? I get it. They've gone undefeated all year long. So
they lost to Kansas State.
Right. And they're in their conference championship game. So should they be penalized? I mean, I could see USC because now they have 2 losses, but TCU, no, they shouldn't be penalized. They should be in the playoff conversation in the playoff. Yes, they should.
All right, guys, this is the time. My Lord.
That's easy for you to say.
Ohio State should be the other one. They should be in there.
What about Dion? We got to say, who said Dion was going to Colorado last weekend? Just saying.
Coach Sanders?
You did. And right now,
let's see his face.
Just saying,
yes, Andrew.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Yes, Andrew.
And
you were right. You were right. Can we see the crown on your head now, please?
It's a headset, actually.
No, the crown. I want to see. Do you part that forward or does it go to the side?
I just let it go wild.
You're just living it up, baby.
Can I ask Rob a question?
Sure, ask Rob a question.
Rob, why do they have to seek the playoffs for the college football rankings? I mean, before championship games, or even a month out before you hear that maybe they lose a Bryce Young or someone's
Great
out.
question.
Yeah, right. I mean, is it not because they're very much worried about what a TCU loss or USC loss would mean and how much harder it would be, or would it be more complex, even so much so after that fact? So they're better just to seed it and hope for the best.
Great question. Rob, what's your answer on that?
I mean, I really don't have an answer for that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about ratings and all about, who's going to watch the game and who's going to be there for the games. Like, when it comes to college football, I'm here nor there. So I don't have a good answer for you.
You're right, though. It's about
Jersey
ratings.
boys, we just don't watch college football in Jersey. We got 2 or 3 professional sports and every teams in every single professional sport. There's just no need to watch amateurs.
Bro, that's actually getting Mets, Jets, Yankees, Giants. I mean, it's crazy.
Everybody forget about the best football team in New York, and that's the Buffalo
Rutgers.
Bills.
Oh wait, the Bills.
Because that's 6 hours away from where I live.
Yeah, they play in Canada.
That's true.
They do play in Canada. They're Canadian, eh?
Hey,
they make this football, eh?
What's that?
I'll tell you
buddy.
right now, the reason why you would watch the college playoffs is because there's some players that are going to be featured in that are going to be in this NFL draft that a lot of New York fans may be interested in, specifically a Caleb Williams, who most likely will win the Heisman Trophy the way he played. And I tell you right now, USC probably would have won that game if he doesn't get hurt. he was making some unbelievable throws, although USC's defense is god-awful. I don't know what's worse of a defense, TCU or USC. Some of the tackling on Friday night was awful, but Caleb Williams is a player to watch here in the next couple of years, gentlemen. He's making throws like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Hey, Rob, you want to do us a small favor?
Yeah.
Is there any way if I pull you into the back room, restart your computer because for some reason your audio is slightly overmodulated?
Okay.
Hey, hang on. Did you guys hear him the same way I'm doing? Is this sound overmodulated?
Yeah, it's a little bit overmodulated, yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy. I'll bring him back in as soon as he gets taken care of. We're going to start with the
down to
National
one
Football
ball.
League. Huh?
We're down to one ball.
What?
We're down to one ball.
Oh, that's right. We're down to one testy.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, gosh.
Pittsburgh Steelers at the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh,
Get this.
Ooh.
Watt's absence would be a major one given the Steelers' 1-10 record without the reigning Defensive Player of the Year in the lineup. Pittsburgh they did receive positive news in that running back Najee Harris was taken off the injury report. Right now, Pittsburgh's -1, their favorite, at Atlanta, and the total is 43 points. Gentlemen, I'm not even asking an opinion about who's going to win the game. But why is this total only 43 points? You got a banged up Pittsburgh defense. Atlanta couldn't catch a cold if they tried. Why isn't this game going over, Ray?
neither team has a quarterback. I'm kidding. No, but I mean, I think Atlanta gets up, they keep it close, and they're not going to try to play too crazy. I think that they got their eyes set on the South now, and Lord knows the Bucs are giving them a chance to take a shot at it.
Peter.
I like Pittsburgh in this game. They're starting to develop a lot of confidence. They're starting to learn how to win with the young rookie quarterback. And, of course, Mike Tomlin gets the best out of those players. I haven't seen anything versus the Falcons, and I get it. Mariota has had success this year, but I continue to say this over and over again. I'm going to shout it out on top of a rooftop. Anytime you have Marcus Mariota as your starting quarterback, you don't have a starting quarterback. I like Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, I think Kenny Pickett's been playing a lot better the last 3 weeks. And, yeah, I'm with you, Harry, on that. I'm going to go over 100% in this game, and that's definitely the bet to go.
Absolutely. How about you, Rob?
There he is.
Hey, Rob.
I'm back. Hey, there you go.
What? I'm kidding, Rob.
Atlanta's been great against the spread, so I'm going to take Atlanta in this game.
You would take Atlanta plus the 1 point?
I'll take Atlanta plus 1 point.
Do you like the over or under in this game, 43?
I don't like anything this game, but
Okay.
I'll take the under.
Well, I just have a question. Do we think that Atlanta now, because like I kind of prefaced it with saying the Bucs are giving Atlanta a shot at the South, do we not expect a crazy crowd to be there in the Megatron Stadium, whatever they call it there in Atlanta? And if so, wouldn't that be Kenny Pickett's greatest challenge to date, is to have a sold out, used to call it Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, but to have a sold out Falcons home stand going crazy? Don't you think that gives the Falcons a little bit of an edge? No one thinks about it, but I mean, why? Because it's
Listen,
2022?
the home team always has a small edge because, let's be real, Atlanta does not really play very good defensively. However, I have noticed that Grady Jarrett has been a man on a mission.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's playing all four spots in the down lineman at one time. I'm not kidding you.
Oh, at one time.
It's just unreal the way that he is playing. But it's not going to be enough because Najee Harris is going to keep Atlanta's defense really at bay, and that's going to open up a lot of the passing lanes for Kenny Pickett.
Okay.
It really will.
All right.
I do like the Steelers a little bit -1, not enough for me to turn around and say, yeah, play it. But you know what? The Greek likes the over in this game. I would definitely go ahead and play the over because I think it's going to happen. The next game is the Packers and the Bears game. We're not going to talk about that yet, but I do want to talk about the Jaguars at the Lions. The Jags are actually underdogs in this game. That's because they're on the road. Detroit's favored by 1, and Fred Hubner asked me a question if I like the game or the over-under on the 51.5. Fred, I got to tell you, I think I'd have to advise to stay away from this game because I really don't know if any of these two teams are going to play well.
Or which one's going to show up.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how to actually answer that. I mean, do I think Detroit can put up a ton of points? Well, they were suffering the first halves, for about 5 or 6 straight games, and then they were coming back like gangstorm, barn busters, in the third and fourth quarter. But the past couple of weeks, it hasn't really been like that for Detroit. Jacksonville's been revitalized. Their defense is playing a lot better. They went out to the Chargers and they absolutely gave them their ass. They handed it to them.
Yeah.
They're just playing really, really good football.
Well, Trevor Lawrence kind of had a step back game last week, if you will. But I mean, still, Doug Peterson's starting to get a little bit more out of that Jacksonville Jaguar team.
Whoa. Step back game last week. He had 3 touchdowns and 315 yards. See,
What was it the week before? I'm sorry.
good against Baltimore, and that was the surprising.
Clutch.
Of course, although
step.
if you watched this show, you would have known that Harry the Greek picked that upset there with Jacksonville upsetting the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, I did.
I do remember that.
And I have to tell you, for the Lions, this is arguably the best injury report of the year for them, with just 2 players ruled out, Okuda and Jonah Jackson.
I thought you were going to say Matata. That would have been awesome.
Okuda
but yeah.
Matata.
It means no worries.
Jaguars getting a point. Totals 51.5. I'm telling everybody to go to Texas in this game. That means El Paso, Ray.
Yeah, I still think Trevor's going to have that step back game, but no, I'm going to El Paso.
Rob?
I think different. I'm going to take the over, and I'm going to take Jacksonville to win this game. I think
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence is it's his sophomore year, but it's kind of his rookie year. Doug Peterson really brought out Trevor Lawrence, and he's coming to, and I think this is a breakout game for Jacksonville. And I'm going to take the over. I think it's going to be a high shooting, nitty gritty game. Drew, there you go.
I like it.
Gritty.
But I also think it's also going to be a sneaky fun game of the week.
How about you, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm definitely in El Paso in this one. I can see either team winning. I can see it be high scoring. I can see it be low scoring. I mean, nothing would surprise me in this one. I would avoid it like the plague.
Yeah, we're still looking at you, Andrew.
Okay.
He looks good.
I can't blame you. I am nice looking.
How about you, Pete?
Yeah, I'll go to El Paso on this, although the Jags are playing a lot better. And it's amazing, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen, when you get actual coaching there with Doug Peterson, what can happen with your quarterback development. Trevor Lawrence is starting to really start to step into his own here, be the quarterback that the Jaguars wanted when they drafted him first overall.
Back to the comments. Christopher Cole says, Texans need to pick up a few personal fouls against Watson. I got to agree with him. Alex Schumer says, hey, Ray.
Hey, Alec.
What's up, Alec? Tampa, Ray.
I love it.
I think that's pretty cool. Alex Schumer says, by the way, Ray, I got a 2002 Simeon Rice Bucks jersey.
Well, there you go. That's awesome.
That's a thing.
Yes!
David Nichols says, Peter Blake.
Yes, sir.
He's catching something. Alex Schomburg says, wait, Falcons have fans?
They don't.
God.
That's the unjersey. They have more college fans. They have professional fans in Georgia.
Roger Shue says, peace. Shout out to Dave.
Dave the Wave.
How
Right
about
there.
the Bucks,
Dave the Wave Nichols. Yes.
Roger Shue says, Dave's is our shift supervisor here at McDonald's. That's why I can't get the God blessed fries.
I'm loving it.
I'm loving it.
Loving it.
Ray,
Uh,
Peter, just
was a
mic
drop.
drop that
Just
one.
drop it.
I'm just loving
Push
it.
it over, man.
he's about to give you some secret sauce.
Hey-o.
We're back to that thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 30-second break real quick. I'm putting everybody in the back room. I'm going to go solo here in just a second because Tampa Bay Ray himself has got a lot of things he's got to get done.
Couple
Ray?
things. Yeah, I appreciate you. And guys, thanks for having me in here and letting me ramble a little bit.
Oh, that was it.
I got nothing.
We'll be back in 60. Sorry. Stand by, guys. Bye. We'll be right back. Now we're back. Thank you for tuning in to the Over-Under on 1252 Sports. I'm sitting solo right now. I still have my guests in the back room. Tampa Bay Ray has a prior engagement he has to attend. I think he's going to try to catch a flight and, all the way up to Chicago to go to the Whistle Sports Bar and Grill on 159th and Tinley Park. He's going to go hang out with Fat Mike and Chicago's very own Fred Hubner. We didn't know he was that big of a fan, but you know what? It's a couple hours away from game time. He'll probably get there just in time. Back in our room, we're going to go ahead and bring him back. It's Mr. Andrew Davis from one of the two giant goofballs. The other giant goofball is Mr. Rob, and Tampa Bay's very own Peter Blake. Peter, how are you, brother?
Doing good, buddy. How you doing?
It's been like a long time since I've seen you.
Right, I know.
Can I get 2 Big Macs?
Absolutely, sure.
And have you and has the ice cream machine finally been fixed?
Absolutely not.
I want a McFlurry. I want a McFlurry.
Yeah, I want this. How about this? I want this.
Shut up!
There you go.
Was that the Browns fans talking last weekend?
Alex Schomburg says, Ray and Peter, what's your thought on tomorrow's game? Well, Ray's not here, so we're going to have to answer that in just a few minutes. We're going to go to the next game. How about it, guys? The New York Jets, 3-point underdogs at the Minnesota Vikings, and the total's 44 points. Get this. With Carter doubtful, James Robinson's wish to receive more carries might actually be answered. Man, Drew, what do you think about this game? Do you like the Vikings -3? Do you like the over-under 44? Do you think the Jets can cover? What's your thoughts?
More than the game itself even. I'm excited to see Sauce versus Dynamite. I want to see Sauce Gardner going against Justin Jefferson and see what happens there. But the interesting story also is going to be, can Mike White repeat the magic of last week? I don't think he can, to be very frank with you. So I got the Vikings in this, and I think the score will be over.
Perfect. Peter?
Yeah, I mean, Mike White last week, over 300 yards, a couple touchdowns, really solidified that quarterback position. And I think going forward, whether it's Mike White or Joe Flacco, the Jets can win. With that being said, look for them to keep it close in this game, but the Vikings to win at home.
Perfect. Rob?
I agree. The Vikings are going to win at home. I think it's going to be a very defensive game. It's Jets are going to be in it, but it's going to be the under, and the Vikings win.
So he likes the Vikings and the unders. I'll tell you what, I like this game 2 different ways. If you like the under, you're going to have to take the Jets. And the reason for it is because the Jets will actually keep the game close, and there's going to be a couple of turnovers. I don't see the game this way. The Jets look like world beaters last week because they were facing not even a formidable defense. They were facing a very banged-up defense in the Chicago Bears, very young, very depleted, and Mike White honestly looked like Joe Montana out there. This is going to be a little bit different. Not saying that the Vikings are world beaters, especially on defense, because they're not. They struggle against the run. They struggle against the pass, and they can't get to the quarterback with a 4-man rush the way they were playing. However, with that being said, I think the Jets are good for 17 to 21 points in this game. The Vikings do win it, and I love the over in this game. So theoretically, if I like the over, I'll take the Vikings. But that's not the play I'm giving you. Just play the over. It's my 3rd best pick of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Bet the over on the Vikings and Jets game. Now, something that's kind of close to my heart. I've been touting them for quite a while. The Washington Commanders are invading the New Jersey Giants. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I said the Jersey Giants because get it right. They don't play in New York. For once.
East Rutherford.
They play in New Jersey. And so do the Jets. I'm sorry, New York fans. They should be called where they're from. They're the New Jersey Giants, the New Jersey Jets. Pete, before I give out any picks, do you agree with me? Why in the world are they the only teams that don't play in their respective states that they're called New York? Can you tell me this?
I have no idea. It's always been New York, so we're just going to have it be New York.
So just because it says New York, it's right?
It is what it is. I mean, I have no idea. I've never understood that myself. I don't understand it. Somebody has to explain it to me.
Keep in mind.
Listen, you got the 2 giant goofballs here. They can explain this better than I can, but, well,
I wanted an outside perspective on this. It's something that's been bothering me since I've been a child. Why do they call them New York when they're in New Jersey? And when I found it out, then I was like, wow.
Well, I tell you why.
Really, when these guys were from New Jersey, not New York, and I found that out, I'm like, how do they get away with that? Why
nobody wants to be a sports team in New Jersey. Nobody wants to be related to,
what?
We got the Devils.
The Devils?
Oh, okay. All right. But what else you got?
Jersey's let me tell you something. You haven't been to
New Jersey team.
Let me tell you something, Peter. I implore people that have never been to New Jersey, don't listen to the fallacies. That is one of the prettiest states you will ever visit. Okay. Didn't say Northern Jersey was. Okay. Central and Southern, absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And that Jersey Shore, there ain't nothing like it, bro.
Oh,
just ask the people from New York. because they constantly invade New Jersey down on the Jersey Shore. And trust me, that parkway gets jam-packed. I mean jam-packed. On a Sunday, forget about it. You can't even go to church. Don't even try to travel south. It'll take you 2 hours to get 3 blocks. But anyway, enough of that. The Commanders are 2-point favorites in this game. The total's 40.5 points. Rob, I'm going to start with you. Why? Why are the Giants catching points at home in New Jersey?
I mean, Giants have to win. Giants are going to win this game. They're going to beat the spread, but obviously, because they're going to win. And it's probably going to be in the under, but it is a playoff contention game. Either way it goes. So it is a meaningful game for both teams. And you know what? The Commanders are going to hit the parkway, and they're just going to sit too much time getting up to the game.
There's the mic drop, ladies and gentlemen. This is a true blue Giants fan. Andrew.
Yeah.
What do you like in this game? They're 2-point underdogs at home, and the total's 40.5.
I mean, they're underdogs clearly because of the injuries going on. I mean, still having
they have a plethora of them.
Yeah, the Dory Jackson, their top flight corner, still out. Fabian Moreau, their second corner, is also still questionable for the game as well. So it's going to be an interesting time for the New Jersey Giants versus the Maryland Commanders.
See? Now, you see, guys, you see, that's the way it's supposed to be done.
The Landover, Maryland Commanders.
It's supposed to be that way. Look, before I go to Peter, I mean, will Young make his season debut Sunday against the Giants? Young was actually limited all week with the bye coming up, along with potentially playing in the MetLife Stadium turf. Let it roll off your tongue. It's okay to say Jersey turf. It's something to watch. Now, however, the New York Giants, I will say that because that's the way it's printed, have a laundry list of injuries entering Sunday's big divisional showdown. Look, receivers for the Giants right now, they're just it's decimated. It really is. It's decimated. There's a reason why this game is 40.5. The question is, who's stopping who? Seriously, who's going to stop who in this game? Now, the Giants aren't playing lights out on defense. We're not dumb. We're watching these games. They're just not playing as well as they have in the beginning part of this year. Actually, the momentum has swung toward the Commanders. They have a more balanced attack offensively, especially at passing the football on offense. But defensively, Peter, this question is for you. Who's going to be able to stop who in this game? Do you think Washington's going to play a lot better because they're only going to have to attack one portion of New York's offensive game plan? Or do you think the Giants actually come out throwing the ball around?
No, I don't think they come out throwing the ball around because, as I've said before, Daniel Jones to me is a liability at quarterback, although to be fair, he has cut down on his turnovers. But at the end of the day, they're looking to get OBJ. This will be the reason why. Their offense has struggled all year long. They've had injuries. And I like the momentum right now with the Commanders. They're a direct reflection of their coaching staff and Ron Rivera.
Great coach, by the way, ex-Chicago Bear middle linebacker. I'll tell you what, he's done a really good job in any coaching level that he's been in the National Football League. Hats off to him for what he did in Carolina. I'm worried for the Giants today. I'm not ready to go ahead and throw in the Commanders in because last week, prior to the week starting, I said, I'll tell you what, this is an ascending team. Andrew, you remember it. I said, this team might even actually be better than the Giants. And I'll tell you what, I still probably stand by that. But when you got a dangerous dog at home and you're playing underdog, and this is for playoff implications.
Playoffs? Did you say playoffs?
I'm kind of leaning toward the Giants. I'm going to stay away from the game just merely because of that. However, with that being said, I'd watch the first half and then make a position in the second half because there is no reason that the Commanders should be favored in this game, even though I personally believe they are a little bit better because they have a better balanced attack on offense. Defensively, the Washington Commanders don't scare me like they did. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay away from the game. I can't possibly bet this game at all. Yep. I'm sorry, Andrew. I'm sorry, Rob. But if I had to lean one way, I don't know which way I would go. I can't even play the over-under in this game because at a half point, I'm telling you right now, if it was 40, I'd bet under. I would.
Yeah, I definitely think you can bet under.
Once it goes to 40.5, sure, there's that possibility of that late touchdown, garbage, something to make it go over.
Yep.
Because God knows that hasn't happened to us, has it, Peter?
Oh yeah, on Thanksgiving when you bet on the Cowboys to go at a certain point, and then the Giants score that cheap touchdown. Thanks a lot, Micah Parsons. I appreciate the penalty.
You mean the Arlington Cowboys?
Yeah, well, there you go.
No, we're talking about the respective states.
New York is a city, not just a state. It's a New York City Giants.
Oh my God! Oh, that's true.
It's the New York Football Giants. Go Giants! Go Giants! Go! I actually got another boss, by the way. His name is Jake Smith.
Ronald?
He's a big time. No,
Ronald? Yeah, I know Ronald.
Ronald. Yeah.
Hey,
The
real quick, though,
burglar.
so Chase Young, by the way, is not playing in this game. Just so you guys know, they're going to avoid it in
not
this game,
playing.
and it's
All
a smart move to go because you don't want to put him on the MetLife turf, and you have a bye week next week. You go home against the Giants again in 2 weeks, so you can give him 2 more weeks off, not test that ACL there on the MetLife turf. It's known for injuries left and right.
And I tell you right now, it goes back to Harry the Greek here. The Greek, usually the majority of the time on the show, is always right. The team right now that has the most momentum is the Washington Commanders, and they're very scary right now. They're getting great quarterback play, great coaching, and once they get back Chase Young, it's only going to help that defense out that much more. So look out, Cowboys.
That defense is not playing like it
Look
did.
out, Eagles.
Yeah. The defense is not that good. Look at the numbers in the defense overall. So you got their 8th in rushing yards given up per game at
Big time.
108, but they're 15th at 4.4 yards per carry. This is not as good a defense as it looks on paper. What it is on offense, they're running the ball regardless of what the production is because they're not getting good yards per carry. They're just controlling the clock. And when you control the clock, you make your defense look better than it actually is by having a lower yard per game.
Absolutely.
Show the words out of my mouth.
Absolutely. I think Chase Young coming back just makes that defense that much better, honestly. And he's that big of a player where he could take over games and be franchise player. For me, I
don't get why this kid's been anointed like the second coming of LT. What has he done in this league except being injured?
Yeah, well, I've seen a couple of defensive ends be anointed the next second coming of LT, and then they just never pan out.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, until Young got hurt, I'm not going to put him. Look, man, I wouldn't even put him in the same zip code as in Lawrence Taylor. I mean, come on, that's almost ridiculous. But he was a really, really, really good defensive player.
Right.
But
There's
since
only
his
one
injury,
the
world's going to be watching to see exactly how effective he's going to be. Back to the comments. Troy Palomalu says Bills are a true New York team. Jeff Stassi, not one person likes New Jersey.
Whoa. Wait till I have to call him.
I live in New Jersey. I like New Jersey.
Yeah,
come on
there
now.
you go. We've had one person.
Jeff Stassi says, I can't even pay for gas with my credit card.
Yeah, but you can pump it yourself if you go over to Jersey. Just saying.
You don't have to pump it. Andrew Faubert from north of the border. Morning, gents. Good morning, sir. Misador from the armpit of Chicago called Gary, Indiana says, does anyone really win with the biggest rivalry in the league? Great question. Troy Palomalu says, Peter wants to talk AEW wrestling. Not on my show.
That's on Wednesday nights. You can tune into that.
This isn't a kids program.
Yeah, really. Misador says, rumors are Young plays today. Misador says, I thought the question was who made who? AC/DC. Misador says, Commanders can climb the ladder in the East. Heineke just wins. You know what? That's a great comment. But I don't know, man. I think this year New York wins at home, and by default Washington wins at home. I just do. I just got this funny feeling. I was talking about it with someone this week. After looking at the injury report, looking at the past couple of games, breaking down a little bit of film, this game really does favor the Giants. It really does. But I can't pull the trigger on it. I just cannot pull the trigger on this, guys. I'm sorry. I just don't know.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about betting,
I'm sorry?
I was about to say, if you want to talk about betting, you want to talk about like stats. DJ has had the Commanders or the Washington team. He's won most of his games against the Washington team, or whatever we want to call it, the team, whatever they were named. So he wins against them. So like it's a must-win game for the Giants for playoff potential. They have to win at home, and they're probably going to lose when they go to DC area. Like it's a must.
That's the way I'm seeing it too. But I'll tell you right now, if the Giants do win this next game and they beat Washington on Washington's turf, Giants are back in the driver's seat. The end.
Yeah.
They really are. It would be.
One thing to watch. One
But
thing to watch this
if
game is
Washington wins both of those games, the Giants' season's literally over.
I'm literally putting all my Giants hoodies and my jerseys back in the closet.
You know,
Go to my
I would
room.
say this: if they lose both games, I can't say the season's still over because the person that's beneath, out of the playoff position right now, is the Seattle Seahawks, who lost to the Las Vegas Raiders last week.
By the way, who had that game?
You did. I was wrong on that one, 100%.
Yeah.
Hang on, and people were giving me how much poo-poo about that? Oh my God, they're a train wreck. And, you know, I got better management and coaching from Walmart and Josh McDaniel, and I was like, guys, settle down.
Listen, Peter's manager at McDonald's could do a better job of coaching that team than Josh McDaniels does, but still.
You talking about Rodgers' shoe?
This is true. No, I'm the manager. If anybody,
okay. I'm sorry.
McDonald's, I'm the manager.
You have the big golden arches.
That's it.
Yes, he does. Misador says, soon to be the Arlington Bears. Troy Polamalu says, shout out to my boss, Jake Smith. Good fella.
He's not your boss.
Roger Shue says, Watson comeback player of the year.
Here we go.
I love it.
Shut up!
Troy Polamalu says, you take that back. Wrestling's the real, and John, whoever that is, Cena will F5 you. Whatever that means, I have no idea.
Isn't F5 a keyboard move? Is that something? Is this a video game thing?
That's Brock Lesnar.
Is Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, Brock Lesnar.
I have no idea. Misador says, if you can take Barkley out of the equation, what scares you about the well, he's supposed to say Giants, but he called them the Nats. I'm going to go ahead and answer that. Nothing.
That's
not
it.
Offensively. They just don't.
That's the problem. And the rumor is that OBJ is actually not going to the Dallas Cowboys. He could be headed back to the New York Giants. So let me ask the two giant goofballs.
That'd be a good move for him.
Is this the right move, guys, for OBJ to head back to the New York Giants? And what kind of impact do you think he makes going forward if he does sign with the New York Football Giants?
Which one of the goofballs want to answer that? Because we got to move on.
Go for Rob.
That's a tough question. So OBJ is past his prime. He's definitely a great wide two. He's not a great wide one, and that's the spot he's going to fill in. That being said, our wide four is our number one right now. So he will make a great impact on this team. We will not be a Super Bowl team this year, but he could make a great impact going forward if we do sign him.
Okay. That's fair enough. I don't personally agree. If New York gets him, he's going to – I agree with you, Rob, but I don't agree with the fact that he'd be a wide receiver too. They would bring him in to be the wide receiver one because nobody can catch the ball in New York for some reason. And it's a shame. The amount of money that this organization has paid Galladay to be able to get that type of production out of him, they can't even unload him. Nobody would want him right now.
Terrible. It's terrible.
You know, and it's horrible. It
I cry every week about that.
It reminds me of a worse version. Did I say that correctly? A worse version of who was that big defensive lineman that went from Tennessee? Albert
Hainsworth.
Okay. What a comparison. They both got paid. Okay. Huge. And decided they just weren't going to play. I mean, they get a sprained toe, and I'm like, oh, I can't play. Give me a break. Troy Polamalu says Deshaun Watson, Walter Payton, man of the year.
Wow.
That's
disrespectful.
You shouldn't speak of the dud
maybe
like that.
Instead he'll take over Troy Polamalu's Head and Shoulders commercials.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tony Williams, today's the beginning of the takeover of the North. Bears 27, Packers 13. The Bears. You know what?
Hold on.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a big deal, guy.
Now that's a real song.
Was that shot live at your last Super Bowl win?
Andrew, you could use my shampoo from
with
Troy
what?
Polamalu.
With what?
Hey, repeat after me. Rogaine.
Actually, it only works for the spot back here, not up here. I did look it up years ago.
Titans at the Eagles, guys. No surprise here, guys. Gardner Johnson's out for the Eagles, but Quinn was a surprise on the injury report with a knee injury. Quinn was a healthy all week prior to Friday. The Eagles could also activate Jordan Davis from the IR this weekend. Gentlemen, 4.5-point favorites, and the total's 44. I think the odds makers are like doing a fantastic job. I don't have an opinion in this game. Peter, what do you like?
Yeah, I'm going to El Paso. I can't figure it out. I get it, the Eagles and their record, but they have not played well lately. Tennessee coming on strong, but they have their own inconsistencies. I just wonder who's going to be able to stop Derrick Henry, and that's the key for me. If Derrick Henry can run like he always does for the Tennessee Titans, the Eagles could be in trouble.
Rob?
I don't know if the Titans win, but I'm taking the Titans and spread it in this game. I like the Titans here.
4.5.
I do.
Okay.
I think they win.
Perfect. Andrew?
Yeah, I'll say this, Peter. You're saying that as far as King Henry, and he's been doing his thing week after week. The last 3 weeks, he's actually been less than 3.2 yards per carry each game. So that's the key: is that to beat the Eagles, you got to run the ball. And what they've been doing lately at the Titans has been passing the ball. You try to pass the ball on Darius Slay and James Bradbury, you're going to be in trouble. So I got the Eagles to win this, and I got them win wholeheartedly. We all know I hate the Eagles. So
you know what? I got to tell you, that's very good points from everybody on the panel here. But here's the problem. The Giants, not the Giants. I'm still on Giants mode because I still want to call them the Jersey Giants. I just need to start this. I got to start this protest.
Our mascot is a pork roll, egg, and cheese.
You mean Taylor Ham?
No, pork roll.
Pork roll.
Peter,
yes.
Tell the two gentlemen down here what you had for breakfast at the Greek's house here a couple of weeks ago.
I can't. What do we have last? I wasn't there, man. You had it there. I didn't have.
Oh, that's right. I did. It was. You say it like one word. It's called pork roll, ham, egg, and cheese. And pork roll. How was it said with one word?
Pork roll, egg, and cheese.
That's it. That's it. I had, and it was really good. It's manufactured by who? Go ahead, say it, Drew.
Taylor Ham is the company that makes the pork roll.
One of the companies, not all of the companies.
But it's the best. It's the best, though.
Here's the thing to focus on the Eagles really quick here, guys. They've had trouble with all year long.
People in Chicago are going, what the hell is a pork roll?
Listen, they did a good job versus the Colts and Jonathan Taylor, but Linval Joseph, Ndamukong Suh, I mean, those are replacements right now with that defensive line. I kind of think that Derrick Henry can run against that today. I really do.
And I'm going to agree with you on that. And Peter, I'm going to tell you why the Titans can actually upset this team. And this is exactly why. Because the Titans can also be a very balanced team. But if they want to be one-dimensional, that's going to force Philadelphia to stuff the box with 8. And I don't care what corners that you have. I really don't. Because if you have the safeties in the corners constantly peeking into the backfield, you're going to get a step on somebody and you can get burned very, very, very easily. That's why if the New Jersey Giants had a little bit more of a passing attack when you have the best running back in all of football in Saquon Barkley, if they even could fear part of that passing game, you could be talking about a one-loss team in the Giants, seriously. But going back to what the Titans can do, that's how they beat them. They're not going to beat them by running the football. They're going to beat them by passing the football because they're going to set the pass up via the run. I'm telling everybody to stay away from the game, but you can make a very small position on Tennessee plus the 4.5. I'm not saying they're going to win it outright. This is kind of a must-win game for the Eagles. On to the next game, guys.
Hey, real quick, we got to say this real quick.
Go ahead, sorry.
I got to say this, Peter. You're wrong in the focus. The focus is that the Greek had some pork roll, egg, and cheese sandwiches and didn't invite this goofball over. I'm just saying.
Okay. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, you should have. I'm looking forward to meeting you. So, I mean, yeah, me, you, we can have some pork roll together.
We're all going to the Greek's house.
That's it.
The Greek's house. And again,
some
people
plates.
and again, the people in Chicago are going, what the hell's a pork roll?
Think of it this way.
That's what it is.
Canadian bacon and bologna had a child.
It's delicious, bro.
Wow.
And I know Fred Huber is probably watching going, pork roll? How come I haven't had this thing called pork roll? Because we have the best food.
I'm about to have some pork roll right now.
Jersey has the best food, not Chicago.
Actually, that's not true. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget.
Our pizza's better.
Don't forget to go down to the Whistle Sports Bar and Grill today for the watch party for the Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers on 159th Street in Tinley Park. Chicago's very own Fred Huebner and Fat Mike are going to be doing a pre, half, and post-game show today. Go down and say hello to them. Tell them Harry the Greek sent you. And no, they're not buying people beers like I said earlier. Actually, they are if you just tell them Harry said it was cool.
Yes. I heard for each show they're buying beers as well.
Each show?
Each show. So you got a pre, a half, and you got a post show. All of them are giving away beer. Just tell them we sent you. Absolutely.
Ray's going to be up there in about another hour. I think Mike's
Of
picking
course.
him up from Midway Airport. Anyway, guys, the Broncos are at the Ravens. The Ravens are 9.5-point favorites. Get this, guys. The total in this game is 40 points. I'm just going to ask everybody in the panel. I don't want a whole bunch of opinions. How many points did the Broncos score in this game? Rob, go.
6.
6 points. Andrew.
10.
10. Peter.
10.
Okay. How many points are the Baltimore Ravens going to score in that vaunted defense for Denver? Rob.
24.
24. Peter.
27.
Andrew.
17.
You combine all the combined scores and still are under 40 points. That's the Greeks' pick in this game. Bet the under 40. I just had to take a little survey. Sometimes a Greek takes a dart and he throws it up there and says, hey, under. Okay, cool.
So, Mr. Greek, I did my survey back on Wednesday, and the over-under was 38.5.
Yeah, no,
So
it's
they're
gone up.
trending upwards.
Yeah, it's
So it's a
trending
little
up.
crazy to me.
Well, because they're not getting enough under bets. That's why.
Yeah.
And they're going to
Appreciate
move it up. The book's never going to lose on that one.
I gotta
Next
say, I like
game.
the Broncos and the points, though, too. 9.5 points when we're expecting a very, very low-scoring game. That's going to be interesting right there, I think, too.
Yeah, you know what? And the Ravens really haven't been playing very good on defense. This game could go over, but hey, if you guys are even remotely close with what the key is how many points Denver's going to score. That's the whole key.
But who knows?
If you have Denver covering this game, bet the over. But if you have Baltimore covering the 9.5, got a funny feeling it could be like a 27-10 game. I mean, that's why you still bet the under.
Harry, could you see this offense putting up some points because they've been one of the most disappointing with Russell Wilson? Everybody expected him to come in and kind of do what Tom Brady and Matt Stafford did for the Rams, but he hasn't been able to do any of it. The most profile team in prime time, but they've been the most disappointing. Would you expect anything less today for them to basically struggle as they have all year long on offense?
You know what? That's a great question, Peter, and I'm going to go full screen when I explain this. I mean, did anybody expect after the first 3 games watching the Chicago Bears to be an offensive juggernaut? I mean, honestly. I mean, there was a stint about 5 or 6 games. This team was the number 1 team in the National Football League on offense, scoring over 30 points a game, but they can't win a game. So if you want to base it on the due theory that Denver is due to go ahead and start scoring some points, then you go ahead and do that. Because, again, Denver doesn't have a slouchy defense. They're actually pretty decent. Can they contain Lamar Jackson's going to be the quote. Are they going to create any turnovers and give that offense a short field to go ahead and get some points? Or, God forbid, does the defense for Denver score any points? If you have any of these factors and you want to base your decision on the do factor of saying, hey, the do theory, hey, Denver might score 21 points in this game. If that's the case and you really think they might put up some points, because every day there's a squirrel out there that's going to find the nut, do it. But I'm not a person that believes in the do theory, and I never bet against trends. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. You have to prove it to me. It's just like when you're betting baseball, ladies and gentlemen. People are like, wow, that team won 8 in a row. They're due to lose. I'm going to bet the other team. Why? You're due to lose your money. They have to prove it to you first. I'm sure people out there understand what I'm saying, especially people that do gamble. You have to have it being proven to you that they can go ahead and score points. Are they due? They're way overdue. Way overdue. But don't fall into that trap. You got to bet the under in this game. On to the next game. Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
Sorry, Rob.
But let's ride. That's all I had to say. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Let's ride. Yes, and the controversy all week long surrounding Lamar Jackson. Maybe that's a motivating factor too.
Yeah, you know what? Since the addition of Roquan Smith, hate to say this, the no-name linebacker for the Chicago Bears that have taken over for him, are you ready? Has more sacks, more pass defended, and by the way, twice the amount of tackles. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay? And the kid's a rookie.
Well, it's a fair assessment, but then at the end,
does it mean he's better than Roquan? No, blasphemy. Okay,
I mean Smith.
But the point is, they haven't missed him.
Right.
Here's the thing, though. It's a rookie contract linebacker playing almost as good, also much better than a Roquan Smith you have to pay $20 million a year to next year. That's
go
the key.
figure. How about it, guys? The Browns are at the Texans. The game I've been waiting to talk about. That's right. Not the Bears versus the Packers, the oldest rivalry in football. I want to talk about this game. We're officially on the Deshaun Watson watch.
Ooh.
The Browns are 8-point favorite. Bring in the former quarterback, first-round draft pick of the Houston Texans, and it's 46.5 points. We don't know if Davis Mills is playing quarterback. We have no clue. I can't bet the game, and I know I'm not really helpful. I don't have to give every game out. I just need to give the games out that I think that are going to win to give you, the audience, the best chance to go ahead and make some cash. Because you can't bet every game. Peter, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah.
Do you think the Browns are 8-point favorites? And by the way, David Njoku is out. For the Texans, Brandon Cooks, Derek Stingley, they're both out. Rex Burkhead has a concussion. He's questionable. Now for the Browns, they just have Njoku, as he didn't participate all week. Harrison Bryant and Farrell Brown are going to start at the tight end, and Njoku didn't practice all week. Everyone else is good to go. I mean, aren't the stars and moons lined up together? Isn't Cleveland supposed to just destroy this team, or do you think Houston and Lovie Smith will actually grab their sack and turn around and say, hey, we're not going to let you blow us out? What do you think in this game? And I'm not trying to alter any of your decisions.
No, not at all. But I definitely think they can keep this close because they're going to play for pride. Everybody's talking about Watson against his former team. So, of course, they also have this game circled at the end of the day. Furthermore, you don't know what to expect out of Mr. Watson because he hasn't played all year long. I mean, is he rusty at this point? They're most likely going to depend on a Nick Chubb to run the ball. The problem is Stefanski doesn't like to always run the ball enough. So that's why I think this game could definitely be close. I'm not betting on it. I'll go to El Paso.
Peter, got breaking news here. Rodgers Shoe just texted in and he said, oh my God, Pete, we just had a tour bus pull in. I need your help.
All right, I'm off for the day, buddy.
And the shake machine is working.
Oh, good.
Not anymore. It's not.
Broken again.
Andrew.
Yeah, this is the Deshaun Watson enabler bowl. I'm calling it basically here. It's just the whole situation is horrible. But I think that, you say about the Texans playing for pride. They were down 30-0 at halftime last week. But granted, this is not the Dolphins offense coming into town there, but there's no pride left. These teams just done. You can tell. The only good player they had on offense all year long has been Dameon Pierce, who's been just horrible the last couple weeks as well. I'll say this: so the Browns are giving up 5.2 yards per carry to running backs this season, so hopefully it's a comeback for him. But I think the Browns pretty easily win this game. I do have the under because I agree. Deshaun Watson should be rusty, not playing for 2 weeks there. I'm sorry, for 2 years there. So
yeah, Rob.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know what's going to happen with Deshaun. He hasn't played in almost 2 years with an injury and his charges. He could be rusty. He could be great. I also have the Browns win this game without Deshaun playing. I thought Jacoby could win this game. With the injuries with Houston, it doesn't help the cause that they're the worst defense in the league through week 13. Like, they're god awful. They can't stop anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just baited everybody. I love Houston in this game, and I'm going to tell you why. Andrew alluded to it. He's going to be so rusty. He's going to be rusty. Houston, the worst defense in the league, is going to generate not 1, not 2, but 3 turnovers in this game.
I love it.
Houston doesn't win the game, in my opinion, but they cover the point spread. I don't know if I like the over or under, but I think Cleveland's going to make a lot of mistakes, and I think Watson is going to have the pressure get to him. And I hope all 11 women have microphones in their hands, screaming at the top of their lungs so that he can hear them with bullhorns. That's what I think is going to happen in this game. Folks, go ahead and take the Texans. Take them plus the 8. As a matter of fact, the line's trending even upward. It might even be up to 9 points by the time game time hits. But that's what the Greek's giving you. The next game, the Seattle Seahawks, with playoff implications on the line, are visiting the Rams. Wow. This is a pretty tough one. This is actually a really tough game. No Matthew Stafford. Seattle's coming back to life. Actually, I'm sorry. Seattle's coming back to fruition. They're not as good as what their record indicates. I like the Rams in this game. Even with a backup quarterback, they're 6.5-point favorites on the road. I am going to take a depleted, banged up Rams team at home and put them on the money line. This is my upset special of the week. They're getting 6.5 points. Don't even bother. The game's going to be close, and the Rams win it on the last second field goal. Gentlemen, anybody?
I disagree. I'm sorry. Like, I understand what you're saying, but I disagree 100%. Like, Stafford, Cooper Kupp, they're not there. Geno Smith's putting it together. Grant, defense has not played as well as it has when they played against the Giants, but they're going to upset. I shouldn't say upset because it's favorites. They're going to be handily against the Rams.
And they don't even have Aaron Donald. I'm going to also throw that out there. I want everybody to know that the Greek is giving you the Rams without Matthew Stafford, without Aaron Donald. Enough said. Don't want to talk about running backs or wide receivers. This home team, in my opinion, this is where the price always makes up for the pick. It's super easy, folks, to take the sexy pick. It really is. But there is nothing sexy about the Seattle team. Nothing at all. Geno Smith is a horrible quarterback who played very well in the beginning part of the season, who is starting to regress like he does every other time he's ever played, and he's had his opportunities in the National Football League. The wide receiver play has been mediocre at best, even though they have two of arguably one of the better receivers in all of football. The running game is it's decent. It's enough for the Rams to go ahead and play against. And I'll tell you another thing, folks. The running game for Seattle, it isn't all that in a bag of chips. There is no reason. If I smell an upset, I'm telling you right now, this is a pretty good upset. So contradictory to what anybody's going to say about it, you ready? I'm 12-1 on upset picks for the year. And this is only 6.5 points. The Greeks been taking them when the teams are getting 12 points and they're winning the game outright, or even 10 points and 9 points. This is 6.5 points. I kind of like my record. Never bet against trends. Ever bet against trends. And I could be wrong on this one. I could be on that do theory, but I'm 12-1 on upset picks. Andrew.
Yeah, I would say a lot of the points you make are 100% correct, but I can't bet the Irvine Rams, as you would call them.
Yep.
Because of the
the
fact
Irvine
that,
Rams.
Because of the fact that they're so horrible.
Next thing I know, they'll be called the Jersey Rams.
But, I think you're right. The Seahawks are coming back down to earth a little bit. The defense played horrible last week, much more like they did in the beginning of the season. Geno Smith had 2 turnovers, which is what really cost them the game in the end. But I just can't get over how bad these Rams are. So I'm gonna agree with you on your Seahawk points, but I'm gonna still take the Seahawks because of who they're playing against this week.
Perfect. Peter.
Simple. I'll pass. So I'm passing on this game right now. Even though Seattle needs a win, I don't trust them. And the Rams, I mean, they have their fair share of injuries, but you may be right. You're 12-1 when it comes to underdog specials. So how can I go against that?
Back to the comments. Roger Shue says Justin Fields is playing today. Hooray. Troy Polamalu says Kayvon Thibodeau is a bust. He's a ghost on every game.
Hold on. I got this one right here. Okay, first off, the last game he played, Kayvon Thibodeau played 21 pass rushing snaps, generated pressure on 38.1% of them, okay? So among players with 20-plus pass rushing snaps in the game, that's the third best performance of the year in the NFL. Not in that game, not for the Giants, in the NFL all season. He's not getting the sacks yet, but he's getting close. That's a hard position to come out of college and play. Watch him. He's going to grow.
Yeah. Troy Polamalu says Kayvon Thibodeau is a bust. I think Rob wants to go ahead and rebut.
Yeah, I was just dropping the mic for Drew.
Oh, that's cool. Roger Shue also says the tour bus driver said Harry that Greek sent him. Thanks, Harry. No problem. And there's another one coming. Pete, you better hurry up. You sure you don't have to go?
Nope.
They need someone to fix the ice cream machine.
Oh, well. Get a repair, man. Tough luck. Got to work on Sundays.
Gentlemen, the Miami Dolphins are heading all the way out to San Francisco.
It's the Miami Gardens Dolphins.
Let me tell you something. Frisco's a 4.5 point favorite. Frisco's 4.5 point favorite. 45.5 points is total over and under. And 3 of the 4 defensive linemen are playing banged up or not playing at all for San Francisco. Armstead will try to give it a go Sunday for the Dolphins, but it's unlikely he plays at this time. Greg Little would start in place for Armstead. The 49ers have a laundry list of injuries to star players, but there is some good news in the pile. Running back Christian McCaffrey, his knee, go figure, he got hurt again. Here, let that roll off your tongue. Christian McCaffrey got hurt? Really?
Really?
Oh, God, he's so durable.
Shocker.
Doesn't make sense.
Christian McCaffrey's knee, defensive lineman Arik Armstead, his foot and ankle, and quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo knee were not given an injury designation, but will play Sunday. Well, they got no choice but Garoppolo. They will roll him out there with a cane if they have to. Okay? They got nobody to play quarterback right now. That offense doesn't go. And I'll tell you what, There's a certain wide receiver / running back that's a little bit injured too. He's also a little bit dinged up that came in here. Here's another upset special for you, ladies and gentlemen. 4.5 points for the Dolphins? No chance. They don't play very good defense. They're going to have a very difficult time stopping. That zone blocking scheme that San Francisco puts forward. I like Miami in this game without the points. I hope you're listening, Fred. These picks aren't cheap. Take the Dolphins on the road in San Francisco on the money line plus 180. Pete?
Yeah, with all those injuries to the 49ers, that's going to be a tough matchup for them. Of course, it's all about defense running the ball, but Deebo Samuel was banged up. Jimmy Garoppolo is somewhat banged up, and this offense of the Miami Dolphins is explosive, especially those 2 wide receivers on the outside and a Jalen Waddle and, of course, a Tyreek Hill. I don't see how the 49ers are going to match up. I like the Dolphins.
Rob?
I'm going to have to kindly disagree with both of you guys.
Okay.
I like the Niners in this game. They are beat up, but when you look at the teams, right, they both have pretty good offense, right? Dolphins has a better offense, but they're also going against the number 1 defense in the league. And guess where Miami lacks in their defense? So you're talking about a great defense, a pretty good offense against a great offense and a pretty bad defense. I don't think it matches up. I don't think it matches up.
Yeah, so we got the Miami Garden Dolphins versus the Santa Clara 49ers here, and I got to say that I think that the Dolphins, as bad as their defense has been at times this year, the big thing is they're very good at stopping the run. So they're not letting the team run all over the place. They've got 3.7 yards per carry on the season. If you stop the Niners from being able to control the clock and run the ball, Jimmy Garoppolo, hurt or not, cannot win you the game by himself. So I got the Dolphins to win this one, and I'm with you, Harry. I got them winning outright. I don't care about the points.
Yeah, 4.5 points, man. You're plus 170 in some books. They got them all the way up to plus 180, man. It's just absolutely incredible. But I'll tell you what, Rob does bring up some good points, but maybe he didn't hear me originally in the beginning part of it. 3 of the 4 defensive linemen that make that number 1 defense, they're hurt.
Next man up.
They're hurt pretty bad, man. They're hurt pretty bad.
They're still the number 1 defense in the league.
Yeah, I get it, but they have not faced a passing attack like this. And
nope,
I'll tell you what.
Number 1 offense in the league, so we'll see.
Yep. Cheetah and the Dolphin. The Cheetah and the Penguin coming to town.
But here you go. 45.5 points. That's the total for over and under. And Miami couldn't stop anybody. They couldn't stop the 4 of us if we lined up under center. They just couldn't.
Huh?
I know you like the under, Rob, but I'm not going to give that one out. I'll tell you what. I'm actually going to say this game has the potential of going over because I like the Dolphins. If the 49ers cover, what does that mean? That number 1 defense in the league has stifled that number 1 offense in the league. But I don't see it happening here. Do not play the over-under, in my opinion. Put the Dolphins on the money line. Repeat after me, ladies and gentlemen. The price always makes up for the pick. Anybody can take the sexy pick, which are the 49ers. The big favorite. I don't know about you guys. They haven't played an offense like this. I like the money line with the Dolphins. The next game. Wow, this is interesting. The Kansas City Chiefs, 2.5 point favorites at the Cincinnati Bengals. Kadarius Toney is hamstring. He's out. Done. Deion Bush, elbow. He's questionable. For the Bengals, we all know that Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon concussion, and Jamar Chase has the hip. Logan Wilson, illness. They're all questionable. They may play, but I'm sorry. Kadarius Toney is out.
Can you repeat that again?
Jamar Chase is out. Joe Mixon has a concussion. Wait a minute. I thought Jamar Chase was out. Peter, am I reading this incorrectly? Because I didn't think he was even going to play here. But
yeah, there's a possibility he could play in this game. There's absolutely a possibility. And at the end of the day, for me, if he does play in this game, whether he plays or not, I'm going over because both defenses are very questionable.
52.5.
Yeah, I think you got to go over at this juncture. You got 2 of the best young quarterbacks in the league, even though Joe Burrow at times has turned the ball over way too much. Been still one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the National Football League. But I like the over in this game, and I like Kansas City to win.
Not having Toney hurts, but the Chiefs have a plethora of other offensive skill players. We all know Travis Kelce, Juju Schuster, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, which I hate, Sky Moore, Isaiah Pacheco, I think is his name.
Yes. Pacheco, yes. Definitely solidified in their running game.
They got a lot of depth. But guys, nobody's talking about the elephant in the room. And Rob, I know you're going to be like, what is the 88% rule? Whenever the road team is a 2.5 point favorite at game time, especially in college football, the 88% rule means this. When the road team is a 2.5 point favorite on the road, the home team generally covers or wins. You get this 88% of the time.
Wow.
On paper, I love Kansas City. This is the only trend. Again, remember, ladies and gentlemen, I talked about it. Don't bet against trends. 88% rule. Take the home team here. Here's another upset. Cincinnati in a win.
I have to agree with you. I was going to take Cincinnati in this game. I think that it's an over game. I think it's going to be a shootout game. I think Joe Burrow is fantastic in the second half of the year. He proved that last year, and he's been on the same trend. He's going to throw over 400 yards a game. Same with Mahomes. He's going to get close to 400 yards himself, but the Bengals win in the over. Fantastic.
Andrew?
Plus, I have him fantasy.
Yeah, I would say this. The bet in this game for me is the overall there because I can see either team winning it. If I had to pick one, I would pick the Chiefs, though, just because of the fact that the Bengals have given up some really good performances the last couple weeks to Kenny Pickett and Ryan Tannehill. Not exactly Patrick Mahomes, those two. But the Bengals are getting Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon back this week. That is definite. So that does help their case. Again, I'd go with the over to this. I'd avoid betting for either team to win with spread or without.
I usually avoid betting any games over that are over 51 points, especially in the National Football League. Even the 1983 Miami Dolphins versus the San Diego Chargers, when you had Marino and Fouts in the big games and the whole 9 yards, even though they'd score 80, 90, or 100 points in the game, I still try to avoid doing that. And I'm going to give you a reason why. Because when you have a total that's 50-some points and over, you have to hope that neither team turns the ball over. Okay, because if they're turning over at midfield or deep in someone's area and then they're stopping them, you do get one or two defensive stops, then the game's like 27-24. That's 51 points. It didn't go over. Oh, man, I wish they didn't turn the ball over. If you see no turnovers in this game, pound it, baby. Pretend you're at a poker table and you got a whole ton of chips in front of you. Put both hands in front of your pile and shove them in the middle. Put your feet up there and just keep pushing all the chips into the middle. But if there's going to be turnovers in this game, you stay away from it. I don't know what to feel in this game. Joe Mixon could be a little bit rusty. Jamar Chase, I don't know if he's going to be on a pitch count or not. I don't know how many balls he's going to catch. Hell, he might even go off for 200 yards in this game. I have no idea. But if I were the Bengals, I'd be really careful on how many plays I give Joe Mixon because you can't afford to lose him if you're going to make a playoff push. You're going to see this team again in the playoffs if you make it because Kansas City, I guarantee you, will be there. I'm not too sure about Cincinnati. This is a must-win game for Cincinnati. That's the main reason why I like the Bengals, plus the 2.5 points, which figures into the 88% rule. Any rebuttals?
Nope.
On to the next game. I wonder what we got left, guys.
It's tough to pick against Patrick Mahomes and what he's done with this team without a Tyreek Hill. But I tell you, at the end of the day, you're exactly right. This is a must game for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes, it is. The Chargers are at the Raiders. Hang on. The Raiders. The team that has peeled off a couple of wins in a row? Oh, the same team that everybody said I was crazy for betting last week on the money line. Remember that? Anybody? All the comments, the people, the haters, all the DMs I kept getting nuts. I mean, kept getting thrown to me.
DMs.
Oh, God, stop it.
Going out in the DMs.
No, man, we ain't playing with the DMs. My wife is home. Get this, another week, Williams will sit with an ankle injury as the 6-year receiver has played just 6 snaps since week 7. More Josh Palmer, DeAndre Carter will be into play. Will Clapp and Foster Sarah will start on the offensive line with Pipkins and Lindsey out. Jacobs should be a go for the Raiders this week, even though the NFL rushing leader has been limited in practice throughout the week. What a performance that Jacobs put in last week. Over 300 combined yards from passing, receiving yards, and rushing yards. The only thing he didn't do in that game was throw a touchdown pass, Peter.
It's true.
Who do you like in this game, Pete?
I guess I got to go with the momentum, don't you? I mean, you got to go with the Raiders in this game. They have the momentum right now. They have Jacobs running. I wouldn't bet on it. I would go to a passo, but if you're going to like somebody, I like the Raiders.
Well, give me a little more on that. Seriously. I'm just kind of curious. Why do you like the Raiders? Because you know what? The Raiders, you're the same person I was talking to last week. They were they're 2.5 point favorites. They're against the Chargers.
Yeah, I know. But again, the Chargers have been inconsistent. They've had all kinds of injuries all year long. I still think Justin Herbert is hurt. I don't know what to think about this defense. And if it comes down to running game versus the defense, I'm going to probably bet on the Raiders.
Andrew.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers to win outright. I don't care about the points in this one since it's only a little bit there. The big thing I look at is the fact the Raiders have given up the highest QB rating and completion percentage in the NFL this entire season. And ever since Keenan Allen's been back, this passing offense has been better for the Chargers. Not been quite where you want it to be yet, but it's been much better. The scary thing, though, is as I talk about that, though, with the Raiders being bad on defense, the Chargers are allowing 5.6 yards per carry to running backs, worse in the league. So expect a big game by Josh Jacobs.
Absolutely. Rob?
I'll go with Chargers 100% in this game. I'm sorry. I'm going with the Raiders 100% in this game. Chargers have not been efficient like they were last year. The Raiders are coming off a great win last week, and Josh Jacobs put up more yards last week than some offenses altogether last week. Like Drew said, the Chargers can't stop the run. Josh Jacobs is going to prove that he needs that contract.
I was leaning one way. And I was going to probably go to Texas in this game and say, I don't like a side in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chargers are a better football team. They're on the road. Peter makes a great point. Who's going to stop the run? They're not doing a really good job. And right now, Jacobs is running the ball. But I'll tell you what, 300 combined yards in one game. Going to be a little tired, limited in practice. Herbert, he's been a little bit banged up. Keenan Allen's back. They can still run the football a little bit. Chargers aren't like a juggernaut when it comes to stopping people. I'm going to lean with a very small position. Go ahead and take the Chargers on the money line in this game. Don't even bother. That's another upset special for the week.
Wow.
I don't let people normally convince me because that's just not what I do. But those are some of the things. Let me tell you something. I'd rather be lucky than good any day of the week. Gamblers understand exactly what I'm saying by that. I would rather be lucky than good any day of the week.
What about the Mo?
The momentum.
So what about the Raiders? They have momentum right now. They beat the Broncos. They beat Seattle. They're coming home. They're feeling good about themselves.
Yeah, are we really bragging about beating the Broncos? I'm sorry.
Right.
I mean, it's the national.
Guys, we're getting close to the end of the show, and we are on a Chicago platform. We're getting ready for the pregame show on 1252 Sports live at the Whistler Sports Bar and Grill in Tinley Park on 159th Street, where Chicago's very own Fred Hubner is going to be there for a pre, half, and postgame show with Fat Mike. And I don't really want to go into their time. I'm just going to try to give them a little bit of a segue. Don't forget to stay here live and continue to watch because they're going to bring a really, 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 really good time. So that leads us up to the oldest rivalry in football. The oldest rivalry in football. Peter, do you mind giving us a little bit of it?
Sure, absolutely.
All right. You just have to get that blood flowing. And I'll tell you guys, for people that aren't in Chicago, every time the Bears score a touchdown or a field goal, the mascots and all the band, they start running around the field, with their flags, and the entire 70,000 people are screaming it and they're singing it. The bars are hearing it. So if you guys are real quiet, even from Florida or even from New Jersey, if the Bears score a touchdown and there's like the wind's blowing in a certain direction, you'll be able to hear that song coming because everybody and their mother's singing it. It's funny.
Anybody else thinking Doug Flutie right now? The band is on the field. The band is on the field.
But here's a funny one. Before we get to the game, I was up at the game quite a few times, and I'll tell you what, the announcer for the Chicago Bears team is, God, please forgive me, and Mr. Walter Payton when I say this. He's boring. Okay. The opposing team, I mean, this is hilarious. Not the opposing team. There's a flag, and the ref pulls the tissue paper out and he throws it, and the announcer goes, "There's a flag." All 70,000 people go, "Where?" And the announcer goes, "On the field." And the fans go, "Oh." Every single time. So if you get a chance to watch the game, whenever there's a flag, just turn the TV up. You're going to hear the announcer goes, "There's a flag." Where? On the field. Oh.
What?
Okay.
The Packers with Mr. Aaron Rodgers. How you like me now? 4-point favorites. The total's 45 points. The week started, it was 42, Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Bakhtiari had an emergency appendectomy and will miss Sunday's game after the left tackle thought that he strained his abdomen. Chicago will have Justin Fields back on the field after a full participant during the week's final 2 practices. Bear fans were hit with somber news, though, earlier in the week. Eddie, I can't tackle anybody, Jackson, and wide receiver Darnell Mooney were placed on injured reserve. I'm only making fun of Eddie Jackson, but he did kind of wake it up a little bit this year. He doesn't really tackle very well, but those are 2 very large hits. But how much more can this defense sustain, taking hits? Offensively, Darnell Mooney, they're going to miss him a lot more. They're going to miss Eddie Jackson. Rob, I'm going to start with you. Packers are 4-point favorites. Aaron Rodgers is banged up. They can't stop anybody either. Do they deserve to be 4-point favorites in Chicago? And the total's 45. What do you like and why?
No, I like the over in this game, and I like the Bears. Justin Fields playing this game. He's going to run all over that Packers defense. The Packers defense is supposed to be so great this year that they can't stop anything. Aaron Rodgers says he still has an injury.
We lost you, buddy.
He's speechless.
That's okay. We lost him, but I could read lips. He likes the Bears. Peter.
Yes. I like the Bears to win this game outright. I also like the over because both defenses can't stop a common cold. It is the day, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why your Chicago Bears draft Justin Fields in the first place. Look for him to have a monster game and all of Chicago to be talking about how he is the next franchise quarterback.
Andrew.
Yeah, I'm going to El Paso in this one. There's too many injury issues and potentials for people not to be fully healthy for me to feel confident either one. I will say this, though, as Aaron Rodgers turns 39 this past Friday here, he's now 23-5 versus the Bears in his career. So that's a trend that's not looking good for Bears fans.
Dun, 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 dun.
Green Bay sucks!
Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and give you the pick. This is my pick of the week. Let's go over. I bought him at 42. I bought him at 43. I bought him at 44. I bought him at 45. I will still buy them at 46 and 47. Everybody on this panel had a very legitimate argument. I'm telling you now, neither team can stop anybody. Justin Fields will have a big game in Green Bay. How does it feel? That's what I want to look in there because I know there's some Green Bay fans out there that tune into these shows. How does it feel? Seriously. You want me to play the little violin for you? How does it feel? You're losing today. Chicago in an upset today on the money line and over the 45 points. Even the dog at Andrew's house is agreeing with us.
What?
Absolutely.
She's excited.
What?
Andrew, Rob.
Okay.
Andrew, I'll let you speak for Rob, or Rob, you can speak for Andrew. Tell everybody where they can find you guys.
Yeah, so we're available at 2 Giant Goofballs is the podcast. Pretty much every podcast platform you can think of, we're there. We're also on social media, of course, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Perfect.
Sure
Andrew,
like button.
you take care of yourself. Rob, thank you guys so much for coming on. Can't wait to get you guys on real soon. Take it easy, guys. And I know you will always say, go Giants.
Go Giants. G-Men.
Take
Thanks
care.
for having us.
Bye-bye, guys. Peter.
Yes, sir.
Now there's one. It's us.
It is.
I don't know, buddy. I don't know.
Monday
What do
night
you like,
football. Saints
covered it all.
versus the Bucks. No, we have the Saints versus the Bucks.
It's Monday night. Hurry up and do it, baby. We got 1 minute. Tell us who you like and why.
Under with the Bucks winning this game because it is a must-win game. First and foremost, they're missing Tristan Wirfs, so they're going to have to win this game ugly, as my co-host would say. Bucks win in an ugly fashion, but an under on this contest on Monday night.
Tell everybody where they can find you, little brother.
It's the evolution of Sports Talk Television, Monday and Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock on I Love St. Pete, the hub, and Amped Up Sports. Of course, join me on Monday night after the game and do 3 things here on Week 13. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And Bucs fans, it's your time.
That's for the Buck fans. How about the Bears? How about giving some loves to the Bears? The Rolex reporter. It's our time and it's Bears time. Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to the Over Under. I'm your host, Harry the Greek, alongside with Mr. Peter Blake. Special guests, thank you very much to Andrew and Rob from Two Giant Goofballs. And who can forget about Best of the Bay, Tampa Bay Ray? We love you. Fred Hubner, to Fat Mike at the Whistler Sports Bar and Grill on 159th. In Tinley Park. Free beers, free wings. Just tell them the Greek sent you. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. Week 13. Go Bears. Green Bay sucks. Have a great day, everybody.